Crossing in front of the reviewing area. If you must cross, please go to the far ends. Once you have reached the seating area, we ask that you remain seated. Keep the area directly in front of the teacher's leader. Feel free to take photographs and videos from anywhere in the seating area. We ask that you silence all electronic devices. Please look around you and do not leave any trash. At the conclusion of today's ceremony, we ask that you exit the parade behind the bleachers. Thank you. provided by Marine Band San Diego, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego. The Marine Corps has played an active role in San Diego history ever since the Marines and the Civil War signed seized Old Town during the Mexican-American War in 1846. Marines have been stationed at the Recruit Depot since 1921, when most of the buildings near front were constructed. These buildings, known as the Arcade, were designed by Wolfman's architect, Bertram Goodhue. The Arcade is among 25 buildings that have qualified for inclusion on the National Register of Historic Places and are outstanding examples of Spanish colonial revival architecture. Since 1943, more than 1 million Marines have completed their recruit training here at Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, and since 1915 at Marine Corps Recruit Depot, Paris Island in South Carolina. Regardless of where a Marine attended boot camp, you can rest assured that they receive
Third Award, and the Purple Heart with Gold Star in lieu of Third Award. Private Bruno continues the tradition of a long line of Marine Corps Bulldog mascots dating back to 1921, when Brigadier General Smedley Butler appointed Sergeant Major Jiggs as the first Bulldog mascot for Marine Corps Barracks, Quantico. Private Bruno is being escorted by the Office of Communication Strategy and Operations, Corporal Joshua M. Dreyer. Spiritual development plays an important part in the making of a United States Marine. Lieutenant Eliseo Morales, Chaplain Corps, United States Navy, will deliver the graduation prayer. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise.
Let us pray. Mighty One, we thank you for your presence here today. We thank you for the young men and women of my company who came in as recruits and are leaving as Marines. Through hard work and perseverance, they now join the family ranks of the finest fighting force on earth. Within each and every one of them runs the war-fighting spirit of a Marine that never gives up. May they take joy and pride in their great accomplishment. We thank you for their friends and family who provided support through thoughts, prayers, and letters of encouragement. May they rejoice in this great celebration. We give you thanks for these drill instructors, for they have made Marines. Through leadership, discipline, and sacrifice, they have instilled within each and every one of them the honor, courage, and commitment that is woven into the very fabric of this Corps. It is because of them that these new Marines can now live out the great honor traditions to always be faithful, first to fight, and most ready when the nation is least ready. May they enjoy their well-earned rest. Mighty One, we thank you for your presence once again, and as always, we ask that you continue to bless this Corps and country, now and always. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Thank you. Please be seated. The Commanding General, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, welcomes you to what is a historical event in the life of a Marine, their graduation from boot camp. Approximately 40 weeks each year for the past 100 years, new Marines have departed San Diego for service with units of the Marine Corps around the globe. The primary mission of the Recruit Depot is to provide basic training to recruits enlisted west of the Mississippi, which represents approximately 51% of all applicants in the Marine Corps each year. The depot is also home to Recruiter School and Drill Instructor School. All of our efforts here are geared toward one end, producing America's finest fighting force, the United States Marine Corps. This morning, Company M, 3rd Recruit Training Battalion, Recruit Training Regiment will form and march in the parade. Following the pass and review, the graduating Marines will return front and center of the reviewing stand for final dismissal. The staff for today's parade is comprised of Marines from the Recruit Training Regiment. The commander of troops is Captain Megan E. Sikora, Company Commander, Company M, 3rd Recruit Training Battalion. The parade adjutant is Captain Thomas C. McCarthy, Company Executive Officer, Company M, 3rd Recruit Training Battalion, Recruit Training Regiment. The marching units are now being called to attention, and the adjutant's command, sound adjutant's call, will begin today's parade. Marching in today's parade are 338 of the graduating Marines from Company M. Among the 338 Marines are 2 Marines who displayed outstanding performances in 2 individually graded events. Private Ryder L. Bittencourt from Platoon 3,271 is the company high shooter, scoring a 344 out of 350. Private Ryan A. Diaz from Platoon 3,270 is the most physically fit Marine, scoring a 297 out of 300 on the physical fitness test and a 300 out of 300 on the combat fitness test. They will be receiving awards from the Marine Corps Association and Foundation. Present today is the Company Honor Graduates Recruiter, Staff Sergeant Andrew M. Sherman. Also present today is the primary marksmanship instructor with a platoon high shooting average of 216 out of 250 for Platoon 3,274, Sergeant Amaris Blackman. Recruit training is comprised of subjects required to produce basic Marines who function effectively in garrison, are trained in rudimentary individual field and combat skills, and practice the personal and professional traits which distinguishes them as Marines. Examples of these traits are discipline, the achievement of self-control and self-awareness which assures respect for authority, instant and willing obedience to orders, and the self-reliance to maintain or improve those traits which exemplify a Marine. Military bearing, consistently demonstrating military presence and personal awareness, as well as the proper wearing and maintenance of uniforms. Esprit de corps, acquiring the common spirit of the Marine Corps that inspires enthusiasm, devotion, pride, initiative, teamwork, aggressiveness, determination, moral courage, integrity, camaraderie, and the burning desire to work with and for others towards excellence in common goals. For 247 years, Marines have fought and won whenever and wherever the nation calls. In the harshest conditions, over the most brutal terrain, and against the most formidable enemies, Marines defend the ideals of freedom with grit and tenacity. Although battlefields change and capabilities evolve, history proves that true victory comes from the individual Marine with steeled resolve, the drive to overcome any obstacle, and the warrior spirit to fight on against all odds. It takes that steadfast faithfulness, semper fidelis, to corps, country, and each other that abounds throughout our storied legacy. Marines today remain in combat, forward deployed throughout the world, confronting every challenge with courage, loyalty, and faithfulness. They are resolved to be the most ready when the nation is least ready, to defend freedom anytime and anywhere, to stand ready to aid those devastated by natural disasters, to pay tribute to those who have forged our proud legacy, and to honor the families and loved ones who faithfully stand beside us. For the Marines of Company M, today marks the end of the 13-week recruit training cycle. They have marched countless miles at Camp Pendleton, as well as on this parade deck, and have been trained as our All-Marines as basic riflemen. In addition, due to an intensive physical training program, their strength and endurance have doubled since their arrival aboard the recruit depot. They are Marines, qualified to take their places in the ranks of the world's finest fighting organization. The platoons are now being aligned from left to right in order to get them into their exact positions for the parade. The next portion of the ceremony will be our national anthem. We welcome veterans and members of the armed forces to join us in rendering appropriate honors with a military salute. For guests who have not served in the military, it is proper etiquette during the national anthem to place their right hands over their hearts, and for those in the audience wearing headgear to remove it. Will the guests please rise for the presentation of the colors? Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Thank you. Please be seated. At the command, post the colors. The color guard moves into position within the parade. This signifies that the entirety of the parade has been formed and is ready to be presented to the command. Following the command, parade rest. The parade adjutant will give the command sound off, which signals the band to parade forward of the assembled Marines while playing military marching music. The parade adjutant now presents the assembled command to the commander of troops. At the command, officers center march. All unit commanders and guidon bearers march to the front and center of the formation. Historically, it was at this point that commanding officers would issue orders and instructions to the unit commanders. Following this, the unit leaders would face about, return to their units, and pass the information along to their Marines. Throughout our nation's history, millions of men and women have earned the title United States Marine. Many who have helped shape our history join us here today. In keeping with the tradition of once a Marine, always a Marine, we would like to recognize them. At this time, those in the audience who have served as Marines, please rise. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for their dedicated service to Corps and country. Thank you. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the Battalion Commander for 3rd Recruit Training Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel M. Matthew Phelps.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, distinguished guests. On behalf of the Commanding General of Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, Brigadier General Ryans, and the Commanding Officer of the Recruit Training Regiment, Colonel Remler, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the graduation ceremony for Company M. It is also my distinct pleasure to welcome our parade reviewing official, Chief Warrant Officer 5, Tim Snyder, 1st Marine Expeditionary Force Personnel Officer. Sir, we are honored to have you with us today. Before I talk about the young people you came to see graduate, I'd like to recognize a few groups of special people, special groups of people without whom their success would not have been possible. First of all, let me recognize those impressive Marines you see wearing the distinctive green campaign covers. They certainly need no introduction from me, for we all know them as the legendary Marine Corps drill instructors. From the moment a recruit arrives here at the Recruit Depot, a drill instructor is with them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, everywhere that they go. They set the example with their professionalism, their discipline, and their leadership. It takes a very special Marine to be a drill instructor, and these Marines are extraordinary. They are the critical element in the transformation of civilians into United States Marines. These drill instructors are absolutely extraordinary, and recruit training wouldn't be the same without them. The second group that I would like to recognize is the family and friends of my company seated in the parade reviewing stand today. These families know firsthand the time, dedication, and sacrifice that it takes to make United States Marines. They assume additional roles and responsibilities at home so that their Marines can be here, focused on the mission. We couldn't do it without their love and support. We appreciate it so much. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in a round of applause for the family of the officers and drill instructors of Company M. Every one of these Marines' journey begins with one of the hardworking recruiters that canvasses the nation on their mission to enlist the next generation of Marine. Today, Marine Corps Recruiting Command is represented by Staff Sergeant Sherman of Recruiting Substation Olathe, Kansas. Staff Sergeant Sherman recruited our honor graduate, Lance Corporal Russell. It was Staff Sergeant Sherman who first recognized Lance Corporal Russell's potential and offered him the opportunity to become a Marine. Congratulations, Staff Sergeant. Now let me tell you a little bit about the remarkable young people who are standing in the formation behind us. They are truly some of the best that this nation has to offer. When they arrived here, they were young and fit, 19 years old on average, and already in better shape than most young people their age. Over 99% of them were high school graduates, and 8 had already earned their college degrees. Beyond that, they demonstrated a courage and commitment that few of their peers could muster when they raised their right hand and swore a solemn oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. They come from every expanse of the globe, in this case, 6 different countries, as far away as Vietnam, Saipan, the Philippines, Colombia, Ghana, and Samoa. And some came from right across the street here in San Diego. But wherever they came from, it was a common goal that brought them together, the goal of becoming United States Marines. When these Marines arrived here as recruits several months ago, they embarked on the most demanding entry-level training in the world when they stepped off of the buses and onto our historic yellow footprints. Since then, they have undoubtedly been tested. They have been trained and evaluated in the attributes that make our Corps unique and deadly. They've been trained in the battlefield-tested warfighting skills so that when this nation calls, these Marines will be ready for the fight. Those essential combat skills were imparted on them by the instructors at Weapons Field Training Battalion up at Camp Pendleton and included basic marksmanship, which taught them to engage targets at staggering distances up to 5. Weapons Field Training Battalion is represented by Sergeant Blackman. Sergeant Blackman was the marksmanship instructor for our high shooting platoon, or the platoon with the highest shooting average, 3,274. Sergeant Blackman in addition to those essential skills, we have hardened these Marines' physical and mental toughness so that they will never quit or give up in any circumstance. We've indoctrinated them in our core values of honor, courage, and commitment so that they will be Marines of exemplary character in any situation, at peace or at war. And we've instilled in them a bias for intelligent action so that they, as small unit leaders, will be able to decide, act, and communicate in the future operating environment. In addition to these things, I think you'll probably notice some other changes when you're reunited with your Marine. You'll probably notice that they stand a little bit taller, that they look a little bit leaner, that they'll look you in the eye, and they may use strange phrases like, "Yes, sir," and "Yes, ma'am." I promise you, they know how to make their beds, and they definitely know how to clean up after themselves. But more than that, more importantly, the thing that I am most proud of is that beyond just learning and understanding our core values, they have embraced those core values as their own. Through their courage, through their blood, sweat, and tears, through physical, mental, emotional, and character transformation, they are fully committed to serving our Corps, and I am honored to serve alongside them. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you 338 young people who can now and forever claim the title United States Marine. Excuse me for a moment while I address the formation one last time. Good morning, Marines! You hear that? That is pure pride. That is pride in themselves. That is pride in the title that they have earned. Now, Marines, when you arrived here many months ago, I imagine the last thing on your mind was graduation day. You were more likely thinking, what in the world have I done, and how do I get them yelling at me? But here you stand today, having accomplished something that most would never dare attempt. When you get home this weekend on your well-deserved leave, people will look up to you. They'll be impressed and amazed at your transformation. They'll be proud of you, as they should be. Your friends are going to ask you how you did it. And when they ask you, I want you to take them for a walk down to your recruiter's office and introduce them to your recruiter. Because I promise you, your drill instructors and I would love to meet your friends. Remember that with your new title comes new responsibility. You need to protect what you've earned. The strength of the Marine Corps is not in any weapon system or piece of equipment, but it is found in the warfighting spirit of individual Marines coming together as a team. And the world is a dangerous and chaotic place, and that is why we have you. The legacy of our Corps of being first to fight and never giving up now rests with you for safekeeping. The Eagle Globe and Anchor that we gave you when you completed the Crucible represents that legacy. And for as long as you wear it, you represent the history, the entire history of the Marine Corps and every Marine who came before you. Be proud of who you are. Be proud of what you've accomplished. And be proud of who you now represent. As you go on in your lives and your careers, be worthy of the title that you have earned. On behalf of the officers, the drill instructors, and all the support personnel here at Marine Corps Recruit Depot San Diego, let me be the first to wish you fair winds and following seas. Semper Fidelis, Marines, and welcome to our Corps.
Now taking their position in the reviewing area as today's parade reviewing official, Chief 1 Officer 5, Timothy J. Snyder, 1st Marine Expeditionary Force Personnel Officer, Marine Corps Base, Camp Pendleton, California. He is accompanied by Colonel Peter M. Rumler, Commanding Officer, Recruit Training Regiment, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego. Chief 1 Officer 5, Timothy J. Snyder, 1st Marine Expeditionary Force Personnel Officer. Chief 1 Officer 5 Snyder enlisted in the Marine Corps in February of 1992 and attended recruit training at Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego. Later, he attended his military occupational school and obtained the MOS 0151 Administrative Clerk. Chief 1 Officer 5 Snyder has served in numerous assignments to include Administrative Chief for Staff Non-Commissioned Officers Course, Drill Instructor and Senior Drill Instructor at Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, Deployment Branch Officer in Charge for Installation Personnel Administration Center, Okinawa, Personnel Support Detachment Executive Officer for Marine Aircraft Group 11. Chief 1 Officer 5 Snyder is currently serving as the G1 Personnel Officer for 1st Marine Expeditionary Force Command Element. His personal awards include the Meritorious Service Medal, the Navy and Marine Corps Commendation Medal with 3 gold stars in lieu of 4th Award, the Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medal with 3 gold stars in lieu of 4th Award, the Combat Action Ribbon, and the Drill Instructor Ribbon. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chief 1 Officer 5, Timothy J. Snyder. The pass and review is a tradition within all military units, allowing the unit commander to formally inspect the unit under their charge. More than 1 million Marines have been trained here in the past 100 years and have departed San Diego for combat in conflicts around the world, including places whose names are immediately associated with Marine courage and dedication. Names such as Guadalcanal, Tarawa, Iwo Jima, Busan, Incheon, Chosin Reservoir, Quezon, Way City, Lebanon, Grenada, Panama, Kuwait, Somalia, Fallujah, Ramadi, Marja, Sangin, and our most current operations worldwide. This parade deck is rich in history and tradition, and no Marine trained here ever forgets its sights and sounds. As the national flag passes directly in front of you, please rise. Once it passes, you may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander of Troops, Captain Megan E. Sikora, and the regimental staff. Marine Band, San Diego, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, California. Series 3269, Series Commander Captain Maximilian Ramirez. Platoon 3269, Senior Drill Instructor Sergeant Isaiah A. Quiros. Honor Platoon 3270, Senior Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Thomas M. Wallstrom. Platoon 3271, Senior Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Julio A. Estevez. The Regimental Color Guard is led on the march by the Regimental Color Sergeant, Drill Instructor Sergeant Parker Shortle. Series 3273, Series Commander Captain Annalise J. Zlogar. Platoon 3273, Senior Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Elizabeth R. Guerrero. Platoon 3274, Senior Drill Instructor Sergeant Carlos B. Zabaza. Platoon 3275, Senior Drill Instructor Gunnery Sergeant Connor J. Fierro. Ladies and gentlemen, if you turn to page 21 of your graduation pamphlets, you will find the Marines Hymn. The Marines Hymn has a history dating back to 1859 and has a long-standing tradition for Marines to face the direction of the music and stand at attention when it is heard. It is now directed that all Marines present and who have served honorably, and ladies and gentlemen, you are all encouraged to join. Sing the words to the first verse as Marine Band San Diego performs Anchors Away, followed by the Marines Hymn. Will the guests please rise? Thank you. Please be seated. The Marine Corps' uniqueness and strength as an elite fighting force is directly attributable to the magnificent efforts of the drill instructors and company officers who train and supervise the recruits. The distinct qualities of spirit and discipline, The heart and soul of every Marine have been developed, nurtured, and ingrained in recruits through their observance and relationship with their drill instructors and officers. Recruit training is the very foundation of the Corps. Each year, recruit training provides thousands of America's young men and women with the basic knowledge and skills to function in a profession characterized by its own set of high values and tough standards. The most important thing we do in the Marine Corps is make Marines. The individual Marine is the Corps. That is what we do here. For the Marines graduating today, the long, arduous journey of the last 13 weeks is but a small step into the future of the Marine Corps. As they prepare to fill the ranks of our Corps, they do so with unquestionable support for the high ideals and standards of the United States of America and the United States Marine Corps. Although Company M prepares for their final dismissal from boot camp, their initial training is not over. Soon after graduation, they will report to the School of Infantry, Camp Pendleton, California, where they will continue to be trained to serve as an effective member of a Marine Rifle Squad. The intense initial training that every Marine undergoes is designed to instill the fundamental premise that every Marine is a rifleman. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to introduce to you the Marines responsible for ensuring the success of the difficult transition required to become a Marine. The company commander is Captain Megan E. Sakura. The company first sergeant is Gunnery Sergeant Rolando Leyva. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a round of applause for the company staff of Company M. The next portion of the ceremony will be the traditional function of retiring the guidons. The guidons have been carried by the platoons throughout recruit training and are being retired to symbolize the disbanding of platoons. All similar units in the Marine Corps carry such guidons, which identify the unit and are a source of pride to each individual member. Note that the honor of carrying these guidons is bestowed upon the Marines who displayed outstanding leadership qualities, motivation, and character, and were selected as the platoon honor graduates. The platoon honor graduates compete for the titles of Series and Company Honor Graduate. They are considered the top Marines graduating today and have demonstrated the highest potential for future leadership and responsibility in the Marine Corps.
Center, face, forward, march. Order! Guidon!
The guidons will now be returned to the drill instructors. The honor graduates will now be presented a plaque by the battalion commander, Lieutenant Colonel M. Matthew Phelps, and the battalion Sergeant Major, Sergeant Major Gerardo A. Trevino. Ladies and gentlemen, please hold your applause until all honor graduates have been recognized.
Present arms. Order arms.
The honor graduate for platoon 3,269 and the company honor graduate is Lance Corporal Ontario D. Russell from Lee Summit, Missouri. Lance Corporal Russell is also the recipient of the Chesty Puller Award for his outstanding meritorious performance while in recruit training. The honor graduate for platoon 3,270 is Private First Class Jamin C. Kyle from Lubbock, Texas. The honor graduate for platoon 3,271 is Private First Class Mitchell D. Miles from Kansas City, Missouri. The honor graduate for platoon 3,273 is Private First Class Kenna A. Ball from Louisville, Texas. The honor graduate for platoon 3,274 is Private First Class Clark L. Gassard from Eagle Mountain, Utah. And the honor graduate for platoon 3,275 and the series honor graduate is Private First Class Matthew F. Brooks from San Diego, California. Ladies and gentlemen, the honor graduates of Company M. The company first sergeant will now give the command to the senior drill instructors to dismiss their platoons. Needless to say, this will be the most welcome command they have received throughout recruit training. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony.